Okay, so don't look at this because it's Monday and I'm at work after 2 weeks off, one for vacation and one for sick. Went on vacation and brought home some strep throat. Yes, I did. Didn't enjoy that at all. Anyway, vacation was worth it. So I was sitting here thinking, do you ever just get overwhelmed by the things that God blesses you with? Do you ever really sit down long enough to think, you know what? I prayed really hard for that. I prayed for a long time for that. And now I have it. I have it in my hands. I can hold on to it. It's a part of me now, right? So for a really long time, I prayed for a free car, because I really enjoyed not having a payment. My old truck was very old, so I didn't have a payment. I really loved that, actually. And so I spent years, probably 4 or 5 years, praying for God to give me a free car because I really enjoyed not having a car payment. I wanted it to be a free car. It didn't have to be a brand new car. It didn't have to be anything super fancy. I just wanted a free car because I wanted the freedom, the security of no payment. Do you understand what I'm saying? I wanted the security of it. And so I would pray for a free car. One of the last conversations I had with Jayton, we talked about the fact that I had free car in big, bold, red letters on my prayer board for 4 or 5 years. Just before he wrecked my truck, he sat down on my bed and was talking to me. And he was like, Mom, are you, how long are you going to leave that up there? And I said, until I get a free car. That's how long it's going to be there. And he was like, you too much, Mom, you're too much. So the fact that I had on my prayer board was actually an opportunity for me to witness to him, to be able to talk about the goodness of God and to broaden his horizons, right? Man, you don't have to just ask God for salvation. You don't have to just ask God for healing you when you're sick. I need a new car and I don't want a payment, and God loves me and I think he'll do this for me. So I'm boldly asking God to do this thing. Ta-da! Look at this. This is not just a car. This is the manifestation of the faithfulness of God. That right there. Oh, Lucille. She is proof of the goodness of God. It's not about a car. She's fancy and she's pretty and I love her and I am so incredibly grateful, which is why I'm doing this video. I had this overwhelming gratitude moment for Lucille, the replacement of my magnificent Bessie, and she was free. She was given to me. I had a choice. I was told to find what I wanted, and it did not matter how much it cost. Do you know why? Because I was bold enough to believe that God would hear me and that he cares about what I care about. This is not just a car. This is the culmination of 4 or 5 years worth of praying. That when I started praying for a free car, it was a whole lot different than when I ended up praying for a new car. I started out just, little tiny prayer. Lord, I just need a car. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't even have to be new. I don't need anything. And there was a moment in time where I felt like the Lord was asking me, Stephanie, if I gave you any car you wanted, what would you pick? And I thought, oh, good Lord, don't ask me that. I was like, I don't know what I need, Lord. You know what I need. And I don't want to be greedy, and I don't want to overstep. And I kept feeling like the Lord was saying, you pick, it's your car. If I'm to give you a car, what do you want? And then this was months and months before I got a new car that I felt like the Lord was asking me to be specific. And I just never could. I couldn't pick anything. The only thing I knew that I wanted was another Ford. That was it. I couldn't think of anything else that I wanted. And when I was looking for a car, I saw that car. That was the first one that caught my eye because she's pretty. Look at her. I mean, she's just pretty. And so that was the first car that caught my eye, but it was an ST, which means it's a sport, which means it's super fast, and I don't really need that. Plus, it had all the bells and whistles, and I don't really need that either, because I'm a good old country girl. I'm pretty simple. And so, even though the Lord was telling me, be specific, tell me what you want. What do you want? And I was like, I don't even know what I want. And I never could tell him what I wanted. I had somebody call me and tell me, I'm going to buy you a new car. I don't care. You go pick whatever car you want. Don't even let the price bother you. I'm going to pay for it. Act as if you can afford anything you want. You pick what you want. That is what that is. It's God saying, I heard you all of those years that you prayed. I heard you, and I care. And now I have this amazing car. And if we could just be bold, if we could just be bold enough to ask God for the things that we really want, no matter what it is, and then believe that He hears us and that He cares. Imagine how many things we could have as a representation of the goodness of God in our lives, the faithfulness of God in our lives, if we would just be bold enough to ask.